This is Hadrian's Wall, cutting across the width of the entire Isle of Britain. This ruined Roman wall is it's one of England's most thought-provoking sites. Once with a towering 20-foot tall fortifications, these days maybe you could call it Hadrian Shelf, as some cynics would call it. It's only about, 3 to 4 feet high and about 3 feet wide and maybe 3 to 6 feet high. The easier stones, the convenient cut stones that were on top, were kind of brought away by the peasants during the post-Rome Dark Ages and now form the foundations of a lot of the houses in the area and churches and other structures. Now, in most places, what's left of the wall has been covered over by centuries of sod, making it effectively disappear into the landscape. But for those, if you're like me, who are intrigued by Roman history, Hadrian's Wall provides a fine excuse to take our imaginations out for a stroll. I mean, these are the most impressive Roman ruins in all of Britain. It's kind of fun to pretend that we're legionnaires and we're on patrol in a dangerous and distant Britannia at the empire's northernmost frontier. And there's nothing but this wall protecting you from the terrifying, bloodthirsty Picts just to the north. Now, today, there are several restored chunks of the wall, kind of like this section. There's some ruined forts and some museums to thrill us history buffs. And so we just went up to the top to take a quick little walk along here. Oh, look at the little beagle. Beautiful. So Jackie, how's it feel to be a Roman legionnaire up on top? Jackie is feeling great because she climbed a big rock wall to get up here, right?
Yeah.
And she's not happy about it, but she did it. And I'm very proud of her for doing it. Instead of saying, I can't or I won't, we gave it all try, and she succeeded. It is quite a climb up through a valley to get up here. It's a set of steps the whole way, but, so. Now, along this whole thing here, you'll see people once in a while walking by with backpacks on, because this is the Hadrian's Wall National Trail. It runs 84 miles following the wall's route from coast to coast. And people can walk it. It'll take, 4 to 10 days, depending on how fast a person wants to walk. And so we're driving along, we'll see people kind of bobbing along the ridge line. I'm sure the bed and breakfasts are full of them, drying out their socks and recharging themselves at the local pubs in the evening time. So we're in an area here that's called the Steel Rig to Sycamore Gap. We just walked a couple of, maybe half a mile. The Sycamore Gap, the bottom is because there's a sycamore tree. And that sycamore tree was used, it's a famous tree, it's this lone sycamore, perfectly little, beautiful, symmetrical tree. It sits in the bottom of the little swale. And that little swale is where they use a movie set in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the one that with Kevin Costner in it. I'm not surprised if you haven't seen it. It's not a great movie in the first place. But, I think that this gives us a upfront and personal taste of history, and quite a tremendously beautiful landscape.